its communications, work entertainment, and in fact, almost everything. The internet is now central. Oh, again. Oh, I don't know. To miss that thing. Okay, I can start from here. Good afternoon, viewers. 4 years ago, MTN launched the MTN Apps Challenge as a platform to create awareness of apps and other digital projects, even further to improve local apps content on MTN Play Store. Today, we have with us our jury who professionally have selected our winners for the four times and growth of the MTN Apps Challenge year on year. Good afternoon to you all.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so we'll take a minute to introduce yourselves.
Okay. So I'm the Simon Cowell of the judging jury. My name is Ethel Cofie. I am CEO of Adele Technology Consulting, and I'm also founder of Women in Tech Africa. I am very passionate about using technology for growth, but especially women leadership in technology, and then growing Africa using technology. So I look forward to meeting you when you come for on the 2nd of May. The 2nd of May when you come for the auditions.
Yes, Anita, you are our head, right? So
Please introduce. I'm introducing my partner Eyram. Eyram Tawiah is. I will let him speak for himself, but Eyram Tawiah is one of the foremost in gaming in Africa, and if you will watch all the auditions, you'll see that Eyram and I fight all the time. So, Eyram, please introduce yourself.
Oh, thank you, Ethel. So yes, I'm Eyram Tawiah, and I'm the CEO of Letty Arts, and we are an interactive gaming company founded from Ghana and Kenya at the same time, and we are excited to be part of the MTN Apps Challenge. And yeah, the expectation is very high. I'm very much looking forward to seeing all the innovation that will be displayed from the 2nd of May. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Eyram and Ethel. So an E over there. Now, so what are your earnest comments on the past challenge since you were part of the jury? How has it been so far?
So I think for me, Ethel will be knocking my head by now because, from the past challenge, I've observed a competition of very energetic, innovative contestants, people trying to make a difference in their locality with what they know. And I think from the past challenge, the challenges that we've had, we've seen a lot in IoT, a lot in apps, and a lot in games. So I think I'm looking forward to seeing more this year because the past has been good. It can be better. And I think from the feedback that we gave those who participated, this year's own would be thrice as good as what they submitted last year. For me, I'm very liberal in considering work that has been done. So, yeah, that's it for me. I'm expecting more.
Also, as I am the Simon Cowell of the group, I've enjoyed the last 2 years. So this is my 2nd time coming back as a judge. I'm thankful to be invited back. I've quite enjoyed it, right? So there is such a vast array of developers. There are people that are starting out and they have an idea, and then there are people that have been doing it for a while. But even in the mix, we're finding really interesting things. I like the fact that people think through their ideas, and that's what last year we found a lot of people that were really thinking through their ideas and were really thinking about commercialization, right? So it's not the idea of just building an app. I wanted somebody who would come into the room that understood the technical part, but could also speak to the numbers and to growth. And I think we found that last year with Amachi that won and the others that won. So I'm very much looking forward to a higher quality this year because the judges are coming back tougher, harder, and stronger. So we're excited for the auditions to start.
Okay, thanks for that. So our viewers can share questions, comments, and contributions in our comment section. So drop in any questions, any comments, and we'll get back to you. Now, moving to our evaluation criteria, can you please throw a bit of light on some of what you look out for? So if we say cost of innovation for a project, what will you be looking out for?
No, why are you giving the mic to me? Right. You start. Okay,
yeah, so the cost of innovation is it simply means how much work it took you to build what you are submitting, right? So if it costed you your time, let's say you should be able to value your time to say that I cost 20 cedis an hour or 50 cedis an hour, or the team that helped you on the ground. So you can calculate that and also calculate the cost of the servers. I know normally we build these things out of passion without considering the cost, but trust me, it's costing you money. Even taking taxi, moving up and down, it's costing you money. So cost of innovation, we are trying to encourage you to be able to cost the work that you do, right? So that's what we'll be looking for. So try as much as possible to bring an app and slap a cost to it. And one of the things that we'll be looking out for is to also project the cost to see that if in a professional setting, this is how much it could cost. But for now, for the prototype or for the first version, it costed us this to build.
So Ethel, for cost of innovation and newness to the market, what are you looking for?
So let me speak a little bit on the cost of innovation. I think that a lot of times, and I think a lot of times people will build something and you ask them how much did it cost you to build it, because it helps you understand, right? It helps you understand what you're doing. Helps you understand what you're doing. But when you come to us and you don't even know how much it costs you to build, then we don't know whether or not if it's 30,000 or 20,000 or 10,000 is useful to you. So it's important for you to be able to cost your time on the project. If you use your friend's time, also cost your skill set, right? If you're a developer, this is how much they pay developers, and it took me 10 hours to build it. So that's important that you know that. Newness to markets, and I think it's I suppose synonymous with innovation. So is what you're bringing tired and old, or is it something that no one has seen in the market, or is it a product that is similar, but even the business model is different, right? So you have to think through. It's not, I'm going to build another Uber. I think everybody has seen Ubers over and over and over again. It could be that your business model is different. You have to really think through how different it is, how many people in the market, look at the people in the market doing similar things and check to see if there is something that's different about yours, there's something that is interesting about yours that you can bring to us. And when you're presenting to us, then make sure you make us aware of how different you are on the market. That really raises your chances, because if you build something that's not on the market and nobody else has it, then you're in a better position to win. Is it 40,000 Ghana cedis that you could possibly win at the end of the day?
Okay, so if you just joined us, this is the MTN Apps Challenge discussion with our jury, and it's a platform to create awareness of apps and other digital projects, even further to improve local app content on MTN Play Store. So I'll get back to you again. So on scalability, what are you looking for in a project? how scalable should they come in?
Well, here's the thing. The MTN, as it's designed, the MTN Apps Challenge, is to enable apps that are built that could, take over Ghana, take over West Africa, take over Africa, take over the world. We want to be able to, our winning apps to be able to be running in millions of machines or phones across the world. So it's important for you to think of skill. A lot of people build apps that do not scale, apps that can only work 50 people, 40 people. So when you're building your mobile app, you really have to think, even your business model, you really have to think, yes, right now the prototype has 50 people, but my plan is to 100,000 people in 12 months, 1 million people in 24 months. That thinking also gives you a better shot at winning the 40,000.
And also with scalability is across board. So scalability with tech, we don't want apps that work with 2 people or 5 people. We want apps that actually can match the 20 million subscribers plus. We also want business models that can move with them. So as the app scales, we get more money. So very scalable business models. And also the teams, like the team that is running it. As the app scale, the team shouldn't scale beyond the app that the expenses go higher than the revenue. So we definitely have to have some concrete justifications for your scalability plan. That's what we'll be definitely looking out for.
So MTN has created the markets already. Now, what will you be looking out for commercial value and market opportunity as one criteria?
Yes, we'll be looking out for apps that could easily generate revenue, leveraging on MTN's subscriber base and infrastructure. So I think during the pre-sessions of Apps Challenge, we talked about a commercializing program, catapult, and all that. All those things are structures that have been laid in order to commercialize apps. So if your commercial value is higher, then you stand the chance of actually generating revenue quicker with your app than someone who doesn't have a stronger commercial value. So we are looking out for apps that could make revenue right away or impact. So either revenue or impact. So those are the 2 commercial values.
So how are you going to make money? That's really that simple. How are you going to make money? If you're building the app, and sometimes we as developers, because we all have from a development background, we get really caught up in the idea, and we like the idea, and we're almost in love with the idea, and we forget about how the app is going to make money. So when you come to the auditions on 2nd May, be prepared to tell us from day one how you are looking to make money. And you have to think through the ideas. Is it going to be an advertising model? Maybe it's a game and the game is free, but you're going to put advertising, you're going to sell advertising to marketers. Or is it that you're going to sell the app? Or is it that you're going to do in-app sales, which means that the app itself is free, but if you want maybe premium services, then you have to, you have to pay for it. You have to think about all these things. I always say, the simple anecdote, I always say that there's something called the Wache model, right? So when you go and buy, nobody goes to buy the Wache alone, but that's the core of what the Wache seller sells, right? So you buy the Wache, sometimes you end up buying Wache 3 CDs, but there are condiments, the meats, the salad and things you buy on top of it. You end up, you buy Wache 3 CDs and everything ends up being 15 Ghana CDs, right? Because that's a business model. Right? So that's an example of a business model. Your business model is that you have a core, simple model, and then people can buy premium on top of it. So really think about your business model, how you're going to make money, how differently you can make money, And I assure you will be surprised when you come to the audition. Will be pleasantly surprised.
Okay. So another evaluation criteria is connectivity to social media platforms. What are you looking out for?
Right. So being social is very important, especially for apps. In order for your app to grow by word of mouth and people to use it, you have to make it shareable. You have to make it in a way where I use it, I like it, I share something in it to Facebook, or I share something in it to Instagram. So for instance, these exercise apps, sometimes what happens with it, if you're, for instance, you're building an exercise app, if I run 1 kilometer, I can be able to post it on Facebook and tell Eyram that I ran 1K. I mean, I'm such an exercise boss, right? So these are things, really think about in my app, how can I make sure that things are shareable, not just share, use this app, but how can different points in your app, how can you share? Maybe it is, I played a game and I've reached this level, then I share it to my community. So that allows other people to see it and also use the app. So it's for your own gain to make the app shareable. And for us, we're also looking out for it to see that you really thought about how to make your app contagious. That's the word, right? Yeah. Make it contagious.
So to add to that, social is very, very important. And in addition to sharing, we want people to play together. Like you play with friends together. If it's a game or it's an app like the exercise app or a game, you should be able to compete in scores and also have other people interact. So social definitely doesn't only mean share, but chat. If it's a chat system, you should be able to connect to existing chat systems and just to make it very viral. So we are also open to see very new innovative ways of adding social or using social to actually drive revenue or stickiness of an app. So I know a lot of people are thinking very, very, very critically about how to make these things possible. So I'm just keeping my mind open to find how you also define social. We can judge based on that as well.
So I hope our viewers are getting the criteria. Now, according to codingdojo.com, there's Swift, there's Ruby, PHP, Python, C++, JavaScript, Java, SQL, and a lot of languages. Which particular one are you looking out for?
And I think this is where we fight a lot, you know. For me, I'm a great believer of language doesn't matter. It's architecture and design. So for me, and she knows it, you can use any language at all so long as your architecture is great, it scales, and it works. Just take it as, it's the same thing. Like, the language is just the raw thing. It has the semantics, and that's for the small boy. But the architecture of the language, the design, is what builds the app. If the architect doesn't design it, you can't lay the blocks. So the language is the block laying thing. Anyway, but Ethel differs. So you can use PHP, you can use C++, Swift, and all these languages. But for me, I feel that use a language which has a bigger community so that you are not stuck. So the Java, the recently like the Ionic, React, all those hybrid frameworks are also growing very fast. So you can look at to be strong with JavaScript as well, which is also very strong. So you can either go native Java, Android, or Swift, iOS, and server-side, go MongoDB, you can still use PHP and all that. But for me, look, if your architecture is great and you coded in Visual Basic, I'll still judge your app. And yeah, but Ethel.
So I disagree. We agree that architecture is important. But if you turn up here with a VB6 system, it won't help you.
But the .NET system.
.NET system.
I'll look at it.
Yeah, so what we're saying in a nutshell is, listen, I think there are certain programming languages that are lend themselves to certain problem sets. So if you're solving, say, a mathematical problem, there are certain programming languages that are more efficient for that. So think about it. Sometimes we get caught in, I'm a PHP developer, so I'm going to use PHP. I'm a whatever developer, so no. I think that you should use the most appropriate language for the app. This is where our fights get quite a bit. So you have to tune into the auditions to see where the fights come. But we differ definitely on that. But if you come with a solid architecture and you come understanding, even if you can simply even answer the question, why are you using the programming language? It gives you an advantage.
Okay, so there are coding standards, we are aware. So there's one criteria that says adherence to coding standards. With all these languages, what's going to happen?
Well, so that's why we agree on architecture, right? So if you come, and we saw a few of those last year, if you come and, for instance, you're not encrypting your password, right? Your passwords are raw in your database. You will end up annoying all the judges. So there are just certain standards. So knowing and understanding, and that Google and the internet are your friend, right? To read what coding standards are. If you are taking data, how do you encrypt and keep that data? If you're keeping passwords, how do you encrypt passwords? There is a standard for logins, right? There's a standard process for logins. Don't come and don't come and be changing things up there. Keep to high quality programming standards, because that also affects the scalability of your system. And things like one of the examples are people who build games that doesn't have a content management background. It means that every time you need to make a change in your system, you have to go into the code. And sometimes, if the thing is live, you can break your whole system, right? So standards like, if I'm going to push out data, I must have a content management system behind. Google is your friend. Look up these standards and adhere to these standards, and be ready to explain, because we will look at your code. Yes. We will take time to look at your code. Beautiful code, because as I said, code is poetry. So take your time, and then we will look at the code and see that you are adhering to standards.
Yes, perfectly. So we want clean, beautiful code. Your code can work, but it has to be beautiful. Don't mix small letter variables with camel case variables. Make sure your variables make sense. Don't do x, 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 y, 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 t, t, t. If it's name, just say username is equal to, and have a standard. If it's small letters, username. If it's caps, keep it to a beautiful structure. We will check how you name your integers, your constants, your strings, all those things. Google it now. No. I know programmers who are extremely good, but still fault. I do that myself too. We are all corporates, but try as much as possible to make your code beautiful. I should be able to read your code and see myself smiling and jumping and knowing that this is the best code ever. Documentation is key. If you don't document, let your code speak for itself. I know people whose code, like the variable, when you are reading the code, is speaking for itself, so that it doesn't need documentation. So please try and keep to standard.
Thanks for joining us, Idi Mohammed. We have Vincent Agbalab. Thanks for joining us, Emmanuel Soji Ohene. Chosen Vessel, we have seen it and we'll get back to you. Kofi Entry Boasiako, thank you for your comments. We will get back to you. So we move on. Stickiness potential to the app. What are you looking out for?
So with this, I think with games, when it comes to stickiness, it has to be something that as soon as I start playing, I'm into it. So if you have a great story for your game, let that story get me right from the onset. If it's visuals, if it's the physics and the game mechanics, let it catch me right from the beginning. If it's an app, let the beginning, the UI, the interactivity, everything get me right from the beginning using it. And also the notifications, what will make me load the game again or play or load the app again. Those are the stickiness points that we are looking at. Is the app living? You see Uber will be notifying you, Facebook will be notifying you. That is what we need. So those small, sticky functionalities should be there to keep the person engaged to the app.
So invariably, stickiness is about getting people to come back and use your app over and over again. Let's look at Facebook. Facebook, two things, the notifications and the fact that your friends are there and posting. So it's almost created a community for you to want to come back and check what's going on with other people's lives, or that, oh, so this is interesting, somebody tagged me in a picture, let me go and see it. So you have to sit down and think about how can I ensure that people keep coming back to it. A lot of times people will see a new app, will download the app, will use it once, will leave it and won't come back to it because there's nothing to keep them reusing the app. And then after a time, when they need space, they'll delete the app. And so we're not looking for apps like that. We're looking for people who have really thought through, how do I ensure that people will keep coming back? And it's easy. The psychology says it takes 66 days to create a habit. So if you can get somebody to even log into your app once a day, and they can do it constantly for 66 days, it becomes a habit. So they will now go and play your game, and every time, and either you're making more money or you're growing your users. So definitely think about how you get people coming back and reusing the app. And we will ask you that when you come for the audition. We will ask you how can you ensure that people will not be bored. If it's a game, people will not be bored. If it's an app, people will not be bored about it. It's an exercise app, and we're talking about exercise apps. It could be that at 6 a.m. it gives you an alarm, get up and run or something, right? Just to keep people sort of opening the app again and checking it out. Or it could be that your friend ran 1 kilometer yesterday. Do you think you can beat that record? That's all these things to keep people coming back and reusing the app.
All right, this has been a fruitful discussion. And again, viewers should note that there are 3 more judges who would be part of the jury. So our first one is Yao Boache. He's a lecturer in programming. We have Alan Beaso. He's an entrepreneur and a chief executive member of Genius Group. Then we have Cyril Aban, who is a pharmacist and an animator, who will be part of our jury. Kindly note that auditions begin on Wednesday, that is the May 2nd, 2018, and our jury is ready to pick out the working and commercially viable solutions. Many thanks for staying with us, and thank you, Ethel and Eyram.
Thank you. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Yes.
Nobody asked questions.
They asked, but they are responding to them, so I didn't. On TV. Stickiness. Yes.